Hello everyone. In today's reading, we're going to ask about your spiritual gifts. We have 4 animal spirit cards to choose from today and also 4 crystals. So I'll give you a closer look at your crystals. For group 1 with the phoenix, this is what we have. With group 2 with the deer, this is what we have. With group 3 with the scorpion, this is what we have. With group 4 with the otter, this is what we have. Okay, so go ahead and see what you're drawn to. Really trust your intuition and feel free to choose more than one if you feel drawn to do so. You can pause the video if you need more time to decide. And let's get started. Hello, group 1. If you chose this phoenix, this is going to be your reading about your spiritual gifts. So the cards are laid out today because I already tried to record this reading straight through, and I did, but the sound quality was really bad. Like, you couldn't hear anything, so now I have to try again. So I want to apologize, group 1, if I seem kind of slow in this reading, and also if I tend to repeat myself because there's a lot I want to cover today, and there's a lot I want to make sure to talk about that I talked about in the last video that I tried to make. But first, I want to talk about this card that you chose, the Phoenix, as well as your crystal. And I believe this is a black obsidian. I'm not quite sure, but more often than not, black crystals are known to be very protective. And with these combined, I feel that your spiritual gifts involve something that you've carried from a past life, because there was this sense of, I've been here before, I know the tricks, I know the games of human nature, I guess, because it feels like group 1, you have this inner knowledge and wisdom that I feel, especially in your past life, that you had, and something that overall, group 1, I feel like you're a very advanced soul, and your spiritual gifts in this lifetime can definitely have something to do with your soul purpose. And especially because we had the soul purpose card here, and I really wish the other video was successful, because I was literally talking about this, and then the soul purpose, I pulled the soul purpose card. But yeah, group 1, I feel that with this threshold card, there's something here about your spiritual gifts relating to activation and growth, something where your spiritual gifts can help you level up and even surpass certain people in this lifetime. And that's not to say that you're a competitive person or that you want to be better than other people, group 1. But I feel like there's just this fact that you are different, you are unique, and it's okay to embrace that. And with the tarot here, I feel like this is definitely highlighting certain difficulties on your path, group 1, especially if you've ever compared your path to others. So we have Knight of Wands and Seven of Swords here, and this Page of Wands in reverse here, that definitely signal to me something about the sense of frustration, especially when it comes to those around you. And I feel that while this may seem more like a practical gift, group one, I feel that it ties into your spiritual gifts as well. I feel that you are someone who's very good at prioritizing long-term gratification over short-term gratification. And I feel that this is a message that is coming through today in case you need to hear it, that you're not someone who takes the easy way out. And in the moment, it can feel frustrating because you may not give yourself enough credit or think that your hard work is paying off. But it is, group one. And I feel like this could be something to keep in mind whenever you do find yourself comparing yourself to others. And so far, group one, there's also something about you being a very, very powerful manifester. And I feel that when it comes to your manifesting abilities, it's going to be something where it may be self-taught or something more untraditional in ways where only you can know the answers to it. And again, I feel like this goes along with what I was saying about maybe not giving yourself enough credit for this, or certain spiritual abilities that you have, group one, that you may write off as a coincidence or no big deal. But there's definitely something here about you being more powerful than you think, especially in the midst of struggle or challenge. You're literally like this phoenix rising from the ashes, group one. And you're not here to play it safe. And I feel that a lot of these messages today could be for those of you guys who need this reminder about the fact that you're on the right path, and your spiritual gifts are going to help you continue to be on the right path for your highest good. And I was also getting strong Aquarius energy here, and also fire signs. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But it doesn't have to resonate. But with the Seven of Swords, group one, I feel that you're very good at dodging bullets, and it may not be super clear. It may not be super clear to you in the moment of how certain things are a blessing in disguise, but it's definitely part of your spiritual abilities and something that you're very aware of. And I feel that there is a strong connection here with people you come across in this lifetime and people who project their insecurities. And I feel that this message is coming through today to kind of encourage you, group one, if times get tough, or if someone's giving you a hard time or not being very nice to you. I feel that more often than not, they could be jealous of you. Because with this Trailblazer card, I feel like you are definitely here to stand out, be different, do your own thing. And not everyone tends to respond very well to this, especially if they themselves are insecure. Just to name a personal example of my own, there have been people that I've known that don't really like me, which is okay, but not everyone is gonna like us. But the thing is, they weren't very nice to me, they didn't like me, and ironically enough, they would copy the things I say and do, so that's interesting. So that could definitely be the case for you too as well, group one, or something to keep your eye on whenever you do see someone kind of being sneaky and ironic in that way. But yeah, I don't know if I said this already, group one, but you're not taking the easy way out. And I feel that, like, you'd be surprised how certain people move, group one, where it's not always true to their reality. Like, sometimes people talk the big talk to kind of make themselves feel better. And I feel like this is coming through today, group one, because your spiritual gifts deserve to be protected. And sometimes you may not recognize certain spiritual gifts due to the fact that other people are talking in your ear or just feeling certain external pressures from those around you. But besides that, group one, I feel like you're still very good at drowning out the noise and doing your own thing. You have something that not a lot of people have when it comes to, you have book smart and street smarts is what I'm getting, group one. Like, you're able to know the rules of survival, so to speak, when it comes to how people move and just practical things in general, as well as the fact that you are very good at being a student, learning new things. And I feel that you're very humble about this. And this is so important, group one, especially if you're at a certain age, or if you're at a certain age where you feel like, what I'm trying to say is there's certain pressures of really any age group as an adult. Like, you should have this at this age or that at this age. I feel like you're not too concerned about the constrictions of societal pressures, group one. I feel like it may be hard sometimes, but you always rise above it. And there's certain adults who kind of stay at the same place when it comes to thinking they know everything. And unfortunately, that's not true. Like, learning doesn't stop when we are out of school. There's always something new we can learn. My point is, group one, you stay focused on the bigger picture. Even if certain external influences make you nervous sometimes, I feel like there's this reassuring message that you're doing better than you think. And when it comes to this true love come to me card, I feel that you have a certain way of loving others that is very healing, group one. It's something that also motivates them to be a better version of themselves. Like, you have something so real and honest about you, group one, where the right people are going to really appreciate what you have to offer. And I feel that for a lot of you guys, you could benefit from teaching others or just sharing your story with others. And I feel that a lot of you guys could even be tarot readers yourself, because there's something here about you giving guidance to others. Yeah, group one, you're able to give guidance to others in ways that you may not even expect, because I feel that you may think that you don't know enough in some way, or as though you're not an expert. But I feel like you have more knowledge than you give yourself credit for. I keep coming back to this message, group one. And most of all, you're not someone who stays stuck. Even when you face certain challenges, group one, you're not staying in a stuck energy for too long. You're always like gaining back your power over and over again. You never truly lose, group one. It's a very strong message that is coming through today. Even when it comes to certain things you may have regrets about or feel sad about, even the fact that you're still going at it, you're still moving towards your dreams and goals is something to be proud of. I was also hearing the song Airplanes, and it goes like, we could pretend that airplanes in the night sky were like shooting stars, and I feel that this definitely speaks of your manifesting abilities, group one. And I don't know if I said this, again, I'm sorry if I repeat myself, but you're able to make something out of nothing. Like you just have that magic touch, group one. And I also feel that you're very connected to spirit and you're able to pick up messages. And I feel that more specifically, this you may have clairaudience or clairsentience. And clairaudience is all about clear hearing, so hearing certain messages that feel like divine guidance. And clairsentient is all about the feelings you get. So this can be certain body cues, or such as getting chills. But there's more to it, but I don't want to ramble on too much. But I feel like that could be a good place to start, group one. Oh yeah, with this true love card, group one, I feel that a lot of you guys could feel more prioritizing your independence. Some of you guys may not be interested in love right now, which is okay, but I feel like there's this message for those of you who resonate with that example that the option is always there because you have a very attractive energy, group one. Just the fact that you've done so much for your self development so far, that's very attractive. You have options, is what I'm getting. But yeah, if you wanted to manifest a romantic connection in particular, group one, I feel like you could be very successful with this as well. But as a whole, you have something very, very heartfelt, very real. And manifesting is definitely a big gift of yours, group one. It's something that can be worth developing more or focusing on more at this time. But as a whole, I do feel that your spiritual gifts are tied into your soul purpose in some way, something that you're meant to really step into in this lifetime. And yeah, that's what I have for you today, group one. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, group two. If you chose this deer card with this amethyst, this is going to be a reading about your spiritual gifts. So to get us started, I pulled this card from another oracle deck because this oracle deck is very big and it's hard to shuffle, so I decided to do it off camera. But to get us started, group two, I feel that your spiritual gifts are definitely relating to being an empath or psychic, intuitive, a healer. And I know the term empath kind of has a bad rep right now on the internet, but that's definitely what this is reminding me of. Like you have heart and soul, and you're able to read people very well, especially on an emotional level, group two. So I feel that a good way to recognize this is if you've ever felt like the mom friend of the group, or as though people always say that you're very comforting to be around. Because I feel that there's something here about you may already know this, group two, or people have already shown you how much they appreciate your spiritual gifts. Like, essentially, I feel that it's already been made known to you in some way. And I feel that a big way to recognize this is certain life experiences for sure. And with this tier card, I feel that you're able to feel people on such a deep level because you know what it's like to feel left behind, or you know what it's like to not feel seen and heard, group 2. And I feel that you're able to recognize when someone needs a pick me up or when someone needs some words of encouragement. I feel that you're very good at recognizing what people need. Like, I'm getting this example of if you were to ask someone, if you were to approach someone, group 2, and ask them, hey, what's wrong? They would start crying, they would just start sobbing. And whether or not this has happened to you, group 2, I feel like this example is coming up because I feel that a lot of people don't feel comfortable with their emotions, or I feel like you come across a lot of people who may not know how to express themselves emotionally. So when someone actually acknowledges them, it's like it all just pours out. Like with the example I was talking about, of like this person could have been going about their day just fine. They've been trying to be strong and try not to think about their problems. And being acknowledged by you could be something that just really gives them so much relief to the point where they just surrender to their emotions, so to speak. So I do wonder, group 2, if there have been similar instances where people just come to you and pour out all their emotions, so to speak. And with this, I'll get to that later. I feel like there's more to this, group 2, about protecting your sensitivity and knowing that it's not your job to save people, or it's not your responsibility to save people, even though it's okay to support them. And we're all human at the end of the day, and human interaction can do so much for us, and it can be very healing. But I feel like when it comes to this gift in particular, group 2, I feel like there's this message about being mindful of maybe codependent relationships, or people who depend on you more than themselves. And again, like, that's not to say you have to be rude or turn them away. It depends on your situation, group 2, but I want to get more into that later. But I want to find out more about your spiritual gifts. And I was also drawn to this deck for you, group 2. It's called the Gentle Hearts deck, the Gentle Hearts Tarot, and it's very fitting because I do feel like you do have a gentle heart for sure. So please describe more about group 2's spiritual gifts. Group 2's spiritual gifts. Some of you may also work in a field where you're helping others or you're at service to others. So this can be healthcare, psychology, or group 2 spiritual gifts, please. I'm getting something here about hiding, and that kind of makes sense because the deer, it's also an animal that is known to be kind of skittish or shy when they see a threat. Yeah. And so far, group 2, we have Five of Crystals in reverse, Queen of Crystals in reverse, and Page of Crystals. So we have a lot of fire here. So I feel like there's something here about your spiritual gifts relating to an inner flame is what I'm getting. It's something that you're meant to lean into more. with this Queen of Crystals, I think I'm gonna get more information about that. And we also have Three of Cups in reverse on the back of the deck. So I feel that this can be confirmation for those of you guys who have felt rejected in life, or as though you know what it's like to be misunderstood or not included. So you make sure nobody else feels the way that you do. So now please get clarification for Queen of Crystals in reverse. What are group 2 spiritual gifts, please? You guys could also be my fellow Libras as well. I'm also getting Taurus and Virgo. Please get clarification for Queen of Crystals in reverse, please. I feel that a lot of you guys, yeah, 10 of Cups on the back, 10 of Diamonds. I feel that a lot of you guys may have had a rocky childhood as well. And it may have never felt safe to be yourself. I'm also getting Leo placements, but again, besides the astrology, it's okay if it doesn't resonate, but I'm kind of just trying to acknowledge the energies that I'm seeing here. Especially Leo rising. But yeah, with this 10 of Diamonds and this Queen of Crystals in reverse together, I feel like there's something here about your childhood and something about you had to be okay with certain things that you weren't okay with, or something that you kind of had to be a good sport about, is what I'm getting, group 2. Because it feels to me like you should have had a fighting chance at something, and I don't know what this could be, but it feels like something here about your potential that wasn't really nurtured when you were a child, group 2. And I feel that this could have something to do with your spiritual gifts. But I feel that you're meant to unlearn certain beliefs or certain things you were conditioned to believe as a child, group 2, and lean into your spiritual gifts even more. It's kind of like rediscovering yourself and tapping into gifts that you may have always known were there but didn't think were important. Like, it just seems to me, group 2, that when it comes to a lot of things, maybe you've had to put it on the back burner because it feels as though you've had to walk away or kind of put a pause on certain things that were important to you, whether this is as a child or throughout your life. And I feel that other people could have gotten in the way of this in some way, whether it's from their own needs or their own projections. For some of you guys, this could have even been a parent that you felt pressured to please or be a good kid, because I feel like there's something kind of stifling here, group 2, when it comes to your gifts, especially when it comes to your early life. I feel like some of you guys may have even been adopted. I don't know why that message is coming through, but if it resonates, feel free to take it. I definitely feel like there's something kind of deep here, group 2, so I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. I'm getting a lot of examples of a tough childhood neglect even, because it feels like there was a point in your early life or your early childhood, group 2, where you were very aware of your spiritual gifts, and it feels to me like as you got older, it may have been harder to recognize that, especially with certain influences around you. And yeah, with this page of crystal, it feels like there was this interest, there was this spark that you could have noticed early on, but something that didn't really get off the ground or something that you just kept inside. And yeah, I feel that for a lot of you guys, you're already aware of a lot of your spiritual gifts. And I feel like there's a lot of guidance coming through today on helping you make sense of your gifts as well as how to nurture them. I'm also hearing that song. It's called Family Portrait by Pink. And she basically talks about in our family portrait, we look pretty happy. We can play pretend and it comes naturally. And basically speaking about, um, the certain family dynamic of kind of pushing things under the rug or acting like there aren't problems to be resolved, not addressing the elephant in the room, so to speak. So, group 2, I feel that this can even have happened in your childhood where you were able to read everyone's emotions, body language, feelings so deeply to the point where maybe you've had to um, shut it off or kind of act like you don't have these gifts because I feel like it was just kind of impacting your energy or your well being to the point where it was just too hard to take in. It was just too hard to feel all at once. And I feel like you were able to figure out a lot of truths about certain people, whether this is your family in your childhood or just people that you've gotten close to throughout your life. And I feel that I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are kind of lonely right now or feel like it's best to just be by yourself because certain people's energies could be kind of overwhelming at times. And I don't blame you at all for this, pile too. Can you please describe more about pile two's spiritual gifts, please? Some of you could have been the oldest child as well growing up. You could have been the older sibling, and maybe this feeling of having to report to everyone or consider everyone else's feelings could have been due to the fact that you had your little siblings to take care of as well. And yeah, I'm getting a lot of examples of the childhood. So can you please describe what are group 2 spiritual gifts, please? Yeah, with this 5 of crystals in reverse, it just feels like I just want to keep the peace. I don't want to be perceived. I don't want anybody to think I'm weird, even. So we have career success, retiring fulfilled and accomplished, finding success in your career, work gives you a sense of purpose. Soul is royalty, and lost. So another aspect to this group two is the fact that your spiritual gifts could lead you to success when it comes to your career, and it could resonate with what I was saying in the beginning about you being in a specific field, working in a specific field. And if so, then I feel that this is a good path for you and it's something that you're doing a good job at. But if not, group two, I feel like this could be something that's definitely worth pursuing. Spirit, can you please describe more about two's spiritual gifts, please? Group two spiritual gifts. Okay, we have trust and victory. And on the back of this deck, we have a life path 2, harmony, relationships, partnerships. You prefer not to be in the limelight. Companionship is important to you. So yeah, group 2, I feel like there could be this push and pull between, yes, I want meaningful connections. I want love in all forms, but I don't want to be in unhealthy dynamics. Like, I feel I'm getting kind of an exhausted energy here from you guys. So I feel like there's just this frustration with it's better to just keep to myself. I've already been through so much. I don't want to repeat the same patterns. But group 2, I feel that you have so much knowledge and you've learned so much from these experiences that it's something that you can use to your advantage. And there's this guidance to not let these past experiences make you feel as though that's it, your story's over, and this is as good as it gets, because it doesn't. And I feel like your spiritual gifts could sometimes feel like a double-edged sword at group 2. There could be at times this feeling of that you're very good at keeping the peace, you're very good at even being the mediator when it comes to your connections or those you're close to, but at the same time it could just feel very heavy and something that's kind of just intense to deal with. But I'm also getting this focus on the root chakra in particular. And the root chakra is all about stability, grounding yourself. What other guidance do you have for group 2, Spirit, about how they can nurture their spiritual gifts, please? I'm also hearing that song. I don't know who it's by, but it's like, you'll be standing in the Hall of Fame, everyone will know your name. Can you inspire and helping group to nurture their spiritual gifts? Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is spiritual gifts. A lot of these messages here today, group 2, seems to be how to nurture your spiritual gifts. And I feel that this is something you're already aware of, as I mentioned before. But there's this guidance of how to work with your energy and not feel too sucked in by other people's energies. Finding a nice balance, and also in a way where you have more energy to pursue the things that give you purpose or things that make you happy. So with this Page of Swords in reverse, I feel that there's something here about blockages of the mind, and when more specifically when it comes to trusting your intuition, group 2. So there's this message of if you get a message, if you get like an intuitive download, it's safe to listen to that. And this feels like the matter of acting on it and really just trusting your instinct in particular. And there's also something here about using your voice or feeling more confident in using your voice and not feeling so pressured to make it sound pretty or perfect, group 2. Like people can tell that you're a genuine person. I feel like there's specifically this message or this fear, group 2, about not wanting to be provoked, not wanting to provoke someone, or feeling nervous about someone's criticism or negative reaction. And I feel like there's this reminder, group 2, that you're not intentionally hurting someone's feelings, especially if you have to set boundaries or be honest with people. And quite honestly, group 2, if someone's going to misunderstand us, they're going to do it. Like it doesn't matter how sweet you say it. So I feel like there's a strong message about being yourself, being more comfortable with your authentic self. And with this King of Cups, the King of Cups is someone who's very chill, very grounded in their emotions. And a lot of times this is more of a masculine energy, but that doesn't have to resonate, group 2. But I feel like, let's get clarification for King of Cups, please. King of Cups about the spirit. Okay, so we have the Lovers and the Fool. Okay, yes, because I was getting suspicious about this because, well, not suspicious, but I had a feeling like this is a specific person. And this Fool and this Lovers, I feel like this is asking you to take a chance on love, group 2, when it presents itself to you. And if you're currently in a relationship, I feel like there's this reminder that your person does care about you very deeply. They're a real one, just like you. And with this Five of Diamonds in the back of the deck, I feel like this is asking you to acknowledge certain fears. Like, if you have, like, I feel like some of you guys could also have had not the best relationship with your father or have had an absent father. So that could be something that has this fear, that causes this fear of not being able to trust, well, men or masculines in general, especially when it comes to romantic relationships, group 2. But yeah, that won't resonate with everyone. But as a whole, group 2, there's this message about not writing something off before you give it a chance, and especially if your intuition is guiding you towards it. And I feel that it's just a matter of getting back to your roots and remembering who you are. And I apologize if I kept saying group 2. I'm trying not to say that, but yeah, getting back to your roots and kind of, like I said, rediscovering who you are, because it feels more like your spiritual gifts at this point in time is about surrendering to who you really are, group two, and finding pride in that. And with this lost card, I feel like this is saying that it's okay to feel lost sometimes, group two, and that your feelings are valid, especially when it comes to certain experiences you've had. Like, it's understandable to feel uncertain or not confident considering what you've been through. But I feel that this is just a signal that you're meant to surrender to yourself, and that this is just part of the lesson of tapping into your spiritual gifts in a deeper way. Okay, group two, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, group three. If you chose the scorpion with this smoky quartz, I believe this is smoky quartz, this is going to be your reading about your spiritual gifts. So I pulled from one of my oracle decks because it's kind of big and hard to shuffle. So to save us some time, I just shuffled it off camera. But to get us started, group three, I don't want to jump too ahead of myself, but I will say that a lot of you guys may be witches or can thrive really well with pursuing witchcraft in particular, because there's something very mysterious and magical about this group for sure. And I feel that in particular, a lot of you guys could also have prominent fourth house placements, because I feel that there's something here about your spiritual gifts relating to you having your own space, or something about the best way to use these gifts are going to be in a place where you're able to have solitude, group three, and you're able to truly focus on your craft or whatever it is that wants to come through today. And with the castle card here, this quite literally speaks of what I was just talking about, but more so in a magical way, just like the typical things you would think of when you think of a castle. So I feel that a lot of you guys could also be very much into fairies or just very whimsical things like that. And some other placements that I'm picking up here are Gemini, and Scorpio, Cancer. Yeah, group three, I will say there's something about your spiritual gifts feeling very protective and something that is very close and personal to you. And I feel I mentioned this in group two because group two had a similar message. Group three, you may already be aware of this gift, or you may already have been experimenting with certain things. And I feel that this could be your confirmation that this is worth pursuing, and it can be something that's very healing for you and something that you can be very skilled at. And I'm also getting 8th house energy here as well. So you could have prominent 8th house placements, but it doesn't have to resonate. But more specifically, group three, what I like about your group is that there's something kind of like you guys aren't afraid to go deeper. You have a lot of depth as a soul in general, but when it comes to your gifts, I feel like this is something that is definitely part of that. The fact that I'm getting a very fearless energy here for sure. Like, I'd even go as far as to say, group three, that maybe not a lot really scares you or spooks you because it feels very calm and as though you have a very curious energy when it comes to spirituality or learning more about your spiritual gifts, even if it does seem spooky sometimes. And yeah, not a lot of people talk about the fact that when you're learning about all this, it is kind of, yeah, spooky when you're first learning about it because it's all new and whatnot. But when it comes to you, a group three, I feel like there's something about your experiences, your past experiences that are kind of benefit you when it comes to your spiritual gifts. And I was also talking about this in group two. So if you were drawn to group two, there may be a message in there for you, but only if you feel really drawn to it. But yeah, group three, I feel that there's something very advanced and wise about you, and you can really, I feel like you can really succeed in whatever it is that you're interested in. You have the you have the drive, you have the discipline, and you are very mature about it. You're not just doing it to like some people want to do love spells to get their ex back, but and everyone has their own personal thing. I'm not here to judge, but group three, I feel like you strive for more. Like you do whenever you do certain rituals or whatever feels like a routine or something, there's a certain word I'm looking for, but when it comes to your spiritual practices, whatever this may be in general, group three, you're very receptive to learning more about it and you're receptive to knowing the bigger picture and the real truth behind certain practices. And for those of you guys who are completely new to this, um, then yeah, of course, take what resonates. But I feel that for a lot of you guys, in some form, you've already researched or were curious about certain spiritual practices. And yeah, this can even be something as simple as you being a fan of pick a card readings. It can be as simple as that. But let's get into more deeper messages and see what else we can get. Spirit, can you please describe more about group three spiritual gifts, please? And I was also drawn to this deck for you guys. It's called the Pulp Girls Tarot. And I was really drawn to this because she was wearing a witch's hat. And I felt, yeah, again, I don't want to speak too soon, but I want to put it out there because it's a strong message that I'm getting already, group three. But I feel like there's more to uncover as we go. Spirit, can you please describe more about group three's spiritual gifts, please? Okay. What are group three spiritual gifts? I think I'm gonna shuffle the cards first and then talk about it. We'll see how it goes. All right, group three spiritual gifts, Spirit. And one more deck, and then we'll get to the messages. Spirit, what are group 3's spiritual gifts, please? Okay, so we have, let me move these around. We have Four of Wands, Death in Reverse, Wheel of Fortune, Level 3 Consciousness. You're becoming more sensitive, begin to ask philosophical questions, starting to act on your own values. So, yeah, there's definitely this strong theme of the home for sure, group 3. So, this can definitely resonate if your childhood or your home life has had a very big impact on you and the person you are today. And I feel that this goes for most people, but there are some of us that are more affected by it, I guess. But when it comes to your other spiritual gifts, group 3, I feel that you're here to break generational patterns and cycles in particular. And I'm also getting some of you may have dreams of or currently own like a spiritual business or a metaphysical shop that's very specific and it will only apply to some people. But yeah, group 3, when it comes to your gifts about generational patterns, I feel that you are what I'm getting the brains of the operation. And I know for a lot of you guys, you may already be aware of this in the sense that you know that when it comes to certain things, it has to be you or it has to be you that breaks that pattern or takes that first step. And I know that sounds kind of annoying, but I feel that this message is definitely for those of you guys who just relate to feeling different growing up and having to take that decision of healing your inner child and as well as doing things different as an adult that were different from the adults you grew up around. I'm also getting that you guys could be good at road opener spells, and I don't know a lot about witchcraft, so please excuse me if I'm not completely accurate, but based on my knowledge of it, I feel that one of your spiritual gifts is involving the strong gift of being able to clear the path, clear blockages, group 3. And there's something very stealthy about you and your spiritual gifts, group 3, where a lot of times you may move in silence or are very independent in general, and this is something that gives you the upper hand when it comes to your gifts or whatever spiritual practices that you have. And for those of you guys who do have fourth house placements, I read somewhere that especially those of us with more challenging aspects in the fourth house, it's very uncomfortable for us to let people into our space. And I don't know how true that is, but it seems about right, especially as someone like myself who also has fourth house placements. So that could be the case for you, Pal 4 and Pal 3, because there may be times where you're in hermit mode, and sometimes you may wonder if it's like worth it. But I feel like there's this confirmation, group 3, this is something that can that you can use to your advantage and something that can help strengthen your spiritual gifts. And let's talk about this romance card. So, yeah, I feel that a lot of you guys could quite literally be good at love spells, but it doesn't have to resonate. But in particular, there's also a certain charm about you, Group 3, that stands out from other people. And I feel that you're very good at observing people and their behaviors and their, like really learning the psychology of what makes a person who they are and what, as a whole, Group 3, you're very observant of other people. And I feel that this is something that you can use your charm with in some way, even if you don't feel like you're the most charming person. There's something very captivating about you and something very different and unique. Especially if you do identify as more as an introvert. Because when you do talk to people, Group 3, or if you do ever make the first move, I feel that it is very likely to capture someone's attention because they may know you as someone who doesn't typically do that, so that must mean that they're special. And I don't feel like you have bad intentions with this Group 3. It just feels like you're more you take a different approach, and this works to your advantage. There's definitely a lot of things about your personality itself, Group 3, that is very, very helpful for your spiritual gifts and really using them to your fullest extent. And also, when it comes to this romance theme, I feel that there's something here about anybody that you get romantically involved with, Group 3, learns very important lessons from you. Especially for those that didn't work out, or even for those of you guys who have even felt betrayed by certain romantic partners in the past. I feel that this is confirmation that you have left an impact on them, even if it doesn't seem super obvious. And you assist them in their growth by just being yourself. By even doing just the littlest things. And by you respecting yourself and loving yourself, Group 3, I feel that this mirrors back to your relationships. And I feel that a lot of you guys may not be too fond of that message because it's like, yeah, right, they seem fine. But I do think this is more internal and something that they're not likely to talk about, Group 3, or post on social media. They're going to just keep it to themselves because it's something that's very humbling to them. It's even some truths that they've discovered about themselves that they may not be exactly proud of. But yeah. And I also felt drawn to pull some charms for you guys. So now would be a good time to turn down your volume if you feel called to do so, because it is a little loud. So can you please describe what are Group 3 spiritual gifts? Okay, so we have this little cat charm and it's in this little mug. So this definitely gives me an energy of being more maybe shy or introverted, or just the fact that you like your space, group 3. And for those of you guys that have a cat, I feel that this is your cat protects you, your cat helps you when it comes to your energy levels, especially if you have a black cat, because I hear black cats are very protective. And I feel that when it comes to a lot of you guys could benefit from doing spells with your drinks or having setting specific intentions with your drinks. Like for example, you can make lavender tea to help you sleep, just simple things like that, but there's so many different things to work with here, so go ahead and take what resonates and what speaks to you, group 3. And we also have this butterfly here, and it came through upside down. There's kind of something bittersweet here, group 3, when it comes to stepping into your spirituality and your spiritual gifts. Like, a lot of things may not always make sense, but I feel that you are someone that goes deep. You transform in deeper ways than maybe even most people you know of, because you're willing to go there, group 3. You're willing to really get uncomfortable and work hard towards bettering yourself, whether this is just self-development in general or your spiritual practices. And we also have this deer charm, and I feel that this could definitely be confirmation if you were drawn to group 2, because it was also represented by the deer. And yeah, this also gives me the impression of this fairy tale energy that I was speaking of earlier. And I feel that a lot of you guys, yes, I feel that your spiritual gifts can also involve animals as well. Animals could be very drawn to you. And you just have um, that magical energy about you, group 3, where animals just really want to be around it. And then we have this camera. You guys can see it. We have this camera here, and it came through upside down. Yeah, group 3, there's something very stealthy about your spiritual gifts. And I feel that you deserve more credit for this, because I feel that most people may not even realize that you're into metaphysical stuff or spirituality. I feel that you're able to use your um, privacy could be very important to you, group 3. And I feel that this is something that is coming through today as a very positive thing to embrace. And this to me feels like you're able to see what most people may not see or notice. And I feel that you also have a photographic memory, is what I'm getting. Like some of you guys could remember specific dates or the outfit you were wearing 10 years ago, something like that, group 3. And you just have a very powerful mind. And of course, I feel that a lot of you guys are also very intuitive, most of all. And for those of you guys who already do spells, especially protection spells, I feel that this is something that is very strong and something that works for you. I'm hearing they cannot get in, and that yeah, group 3, you're just very good at moving in silence, most of all. for those of you who actually have kids, I feel that, yeah, this is a very specific message as well. For those of you who have kids and do protection spells for your kids, I feel that this is very powerful. And again, something that is very strong and it works. I'm gonna get more on this Wheel of Fortune and then we'll wrap up the reading. Spirit, can please give a clarification card for Wheel of Fortune, please? What are your spiritual gifts? This Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I want to cover this up because there's, yeah, it's not really appropriate, I guess, for YouTube. So we have the Judgment here as well. So yeah, group 3, I feel like you're quick like a fox, but you're very smart. You're very smart about it. There's just something here about your strong instinct. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, instinct. Group 3, that is so powerful. Can you please get more on the death in reverse, please? What are your group 3 spiritual gifts with this death in reverse? Yeah, we have the Empress here, clarified with this death in reverse. So yeah, with what I was saying in the beginning about you being able to clear roadblocks or anything that is holding you back on your path, group 3, I feel that this is definitely confirming that. And with this Empress card, I feel that you may also be good at really attracting abundance, and this is going to look different for everyone. But I feel that you're able to find opportunity in a lot of things because you're willing to look in places not a lot of people are willing to look. And again, I feel like I said this in a previous pile, but I'll bring it up again because there's something here about you also being very lucky because of the fact that you don't play by anybody's rules. You're someone who is able to seek your own truth, group 3, and explore on your own terms. And this is very good because this is going to help your spiritual gifts advance even further. And I just feel like you're in good hands, group 3, and to keep up the good work. And yeah, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, group 4. If you chose this otter with this rose quartz, this is going to be a reading about your spiritual gifts. And I went ahead and pulled from one of my oracle decks because it's kind of big and hard to shuffle. So I saved some time and did it off camera. But I really want to jump into your reading and I'm really excited. And I'm trying to hold myself back here because I'm getting such playful energy from you guys. And we have a lot to cover today. So I apologize if I'm jumping all over the place, but yeah, let's just get into it, group 4. So first of all, when it comes to your spiritual gifts, I feel that you have a very special impact on those around you, group 4. You are like a beacon of light for others. You always are able to cheer someone up or change the energy of a room just by being yourself. I was also hearing the Powerpuff Girls theme song. And if you know, you know. But I feel that a lot of you guys are already aware or have grown up with watching the Powerpuff Girls. But essentially, yeah, a very playful energy so far. And more specifically, you guys kind of remind me of Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls. She's very playful, very curious, and just kind of innocent also. She has a very innocent way about her. And Group 4, I feel like you wouldn't hurt a fly, and this makes people really drawn to you. And so far, I feel like your spiritual gifts definitely involve just the fact that you're a bright light, and I feel like you have a very special purpose in this lifetime and may have multiple um, things you go after in this lifetime. Like the world is your oyster, group 4. I feel that anything you want to do, you can go after. And I feel that a lot of you guys do have a lot of things on your bucket list or things you want to accomplish in this lifetime and experience. And I feel that this is confirmation that you'll get there. And also a reminder that you deserve it. Like your brightness can really change someone's life for the better. And I feel that, but yeah, let's talk more about this. The creator here, and this is quite literally talking about the fact that you guys could also have very creative gifts as well, in whatever form this is to you. But a lot of you guys could quite literally be my traditional artists, designers, or everything in between. And I feel that a lot of you guys could also have prominent Libra, Pisces, Leo, or Gemini placements, but it doesn't have to resonate. But more specifically, I feel that you guys could have these signs in your moon or your Venus as well. And I feel that astrologically, I'm also getting astrologically, your birth chart may not make sense to you. And I feel that that's a message for some of you guys out there. Like, for example, maybe you have all earth signs in your big three and you don't really see that as like matching your personality or your just the stereotypical terms of what earth signs are known for, which is a very interesting message to come through today. But besides the astrology of it all, group 4, you're not meant to be put in a box in this lifetime, and I feel that you know this. And I feel so far there's this confirmation to keep being who you are because it's working. Okay, we'll get into some deeper messages with the tarot as well. Here, can you please describe what are group 4 spiritual gifts, please? I'm sorry if the shuffling is a little loud. But yeah, group 4, so far, I feel like you're a very good friend. You're a very good friend, and you may not even believe that, or you may not even give yourself enough credit for that. Because I feel that a lot of times you are the glue in your connections in whatever way this is. But I feel that a big theme that is coming through is friendships. Oh, yeah, a lot of you guys could also have prominent 11th house placements in particular. And the 11th house is all about our community, friendships, and also our hopes and dreams, to name a few things. And for those of you guys who specifically have a trio friend group, so that's a friend group of 3 people, yeah, I feel that you're the glue, group 4. You're the glue that holds it together. And that message will only be for some people. Spirit, can you please describe more about group 4 spiritual gifts, please? And for those of you guys who have struggled in the past with the idea of friendship and getting close to people, like maybe due to the fact you feel that they don't accept you or appreciate your most authentic self, I feel that there's this is a sign that People are out there. What spiritual gifts, please? Oh my gosh. We have the Sun, Six of Cups in reverse, and King of Wands. I'm really excited about this group 4. Yeah, you wouldn't hurt a fly. You don't hold grudges, even if some things are hurtful or painful to think about, or even if you remember certain things that feel um, just painful in general. Even if sometimes you don't like people, group 4, it's okay. Like, I feel that sometimes you could feel guilty for maybe having boundaries or having to get really firm with people who cross your boundaries or just disrespect you. But group 4, I feel that there's a strong message that you deserve to take up space just as much as anybody else does. And you're not too much. So yeah, let's talk about the tarot. Um, there's some more decks I want to pull from, but we'll start with this for now. Okay, so with this King of Wands, I feel that a lot of you guys could thrive very well with being a leader or being the first to do something. I'm also getting Aquarius energy here because there's something very innovative about you, group 4, and that this ties into your spiritual gifts. And the Sun here, oh my gosh, this is quite literally what I was talking about when you guys, the fact that you guys have such a bright energy. And the Sun is the most positive card in the deck. And I feel that you guys are, yeah, often the funny friend in the group or the friend that kind of makes things more lighthearted, and you make life easy to deal with, group 4. Like when people are around you, they feel so like life makes sense again and that everything's going to be okay. Spirit, can you please describe more about group 4 spiritual gifts? I'm going to pull from this deck and one more deck, and then we'll see what else we have. I'm also getting this message like, while I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, group 4, like, where can I find someone like you? Quite honestly, like, I'd love to have a friend like you, group 4, personally. I feel like you're a hot commodity, even if it doesn't seem like it, or if you have your doubts sometimes. Our group 4 spiritual gifts. Okay, so we have self love, Pleiadian, understand polarity and balance, here to help the human race evolve, challenger of social norms and connections. So, yeah, this was in reverse, and I don't read oracles in reverse unless it really stands out to me. So, yeah, I feel that sometimes you guys may have even struggled with the idea of friendship or finding your people, but it doesn't mean that you're not worth being friends with or you're not worth anybody would be lucky to build a bond with you, group 4. And yeah, don't be afraid to be different. I feel like you're going to find your people this way, group 4. And if you don't already have them, they're out there. And I feel that there's people out there as well, group 4, that have similar gifts as you, or even completely different gifts as you. There's something here about when you do find the right people, when you come together, you can really make magic. You can really um, amplify your existing gifts. Kind of like the Powerpuff Girls example that I was picking up earlier. Like they all are very unique in their own way, but when they come together, they're really, that's when they become a team. That's when they, again, make magic, save the world. Okay. Oh, I forgot one more deck. Can you please describe more about root for spiritual gifts, please? Let's keep some moving. I feel like a lot of you guys could also be into films or movies, or this could even be something as simple as content creation. Some of you guys could thrive very well in being influencers or content creators because you have that special something. What are good for spiritual gifts, please? So we have psychic protection and harvest. And on the back of the deck, we also have creativity. So, yeah. So I feel like an important message that is also coming through group 4 when it comes to your spiritual gifts is how to nurture them in this lifetime, and the fact that it's going to be important to make sure nobody discourages you, like essentially to make sure nobody don't let nobody stand in your way or make you feel as though you're, like I said, you're not too much group 4. And the right people are going to appreciate and feel very energized by your gifts. And you're divinely protected. Yeah, I feel that there's this message that your spirit guides, in particular, group 4, are really helping you in this lifetime to um, be your most authentic self and make sure nothing stands in the way of that. Like, I feel that your spirit guides, in particular, are very drawn to your soul because it's just very beautiful and bright. Like I mentioned, I can't say that enough. And I think I'm going to pull some charms for you guys as well. I didn't do this for all the piles. I did this for pile 3, but yeah, I just feel drawn to do so. So now would be a good time to turn down your volume if you feel drawn to do so, group 4. And 3, 2, 1. What time? Spiritual gifts, please. Yeah, sorry if I sound out of breath, group 4. Like I said, I'm trying to hold myself back here. And I'm really excited about your pile for sure. But let's get into your charms here. So we have the Libra scales. So some of you guys could be my fellow Libras, but most of all, group 4, like I said, you're here to, I feel like you are meant to build strong bonds in this lifetime. And this gives me the energy of soul family, in particular, finding your people. And this can also be romantic, but I feel that there's an even bigger message of friendship and community in particular. And yeah, anybody that needs to vent or needs comforting, I feel like you're there for them. And this is a very powerful gift that you have, group 4. Like I said, just life just makes sense when you're around. Then we have these acorns here. This kind of reminds me of this harvest card in a way. Autumn may be significant for you guys. You may have an autumn birthday. Hello, group 4. I'm back again. As I was putting the cards away, this harvest card was really standing out to me more, and as well as the acorn charm that I pulled for you. So I feel that another gift that you could have and have yet to tap into is the fact that you could be very good with plants, whether this is something you're already doing or something that can be fun to pursue. And more specifically, I feel that having intentions with certain herbs and plants, like magical rituals with plants and herbs, things of that nature, group 4 could be something that you're quite talented at or would be. And it feels like something as well that was passed on to you. So this could be something that your family is passionate about or something you've learned from someone else, or it could just be a message from maybe your spirit guides or your ancestors that this is some knowledge that they're passing down to you and inspiring you to look deeper into. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and say that in case it stands out to anybody. Or maybe you're into the cottage core aesthetic. And we have this anchor here, and it's also kind of into these. We have this anchor here that is stuck into these keys. By the end of the day, group 4, you're always able to remember your purpose. You're always able to remember who you are. And this is something that can sometimes be difficult for a lot of people in this lifetime. Like, you're someone who's not going to compromise your values or your integrity just to get a quick buck. And for those of you guys who are interested in content creation or even social media, I feel like this is a very positive thing because we need more people like you, group 4. If you do pursue a social media, group 4, there's this message that you deserve your platform. You deserve your platform because of your values and also just the fact that you're talented in general. And we have this crab here. So yeah, I don't know if I think I mentioned in the beginning. No, I didn't say Cancer yet, but you guys could be Cancers or have Cancer placements. And I know that was a lot to work with astrologically, but I'm not trying to get too wrapped up in the astrology of it all. But of course, if it resonates, go ahead and take it as usual. And lastly, we have this little bag here. So some of you guys could also be into fashion or fashion design or have just a really unique style. And I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but I feel that you guys could really be into color or pastels, kind of like myself, and that can show up in your style. Like, for example, I'm wearing this purple, like light purple shirt, and I have my purple things here, and a lot of times I just match unintentionally. Like, it's not my intention. I just really like these colors, and it just works out. So that could be the case for you too, Pal 4. But when it comes to your spiritual gifts, yeah, you could be someone who works with color in the way where maybe you do set intention with the colors that you wear or incorporate. But as a whole, you're just a very colorful and bright person. And with this King of Wands, I feel that you're someone who comes across as very confident and just sure of yourself. Even if you don't always feel that way, group 4, I feel that other people can see your bright light. And with the Six of Cups in reverse, I'm also getting that some of you guys could, you could have a very youthful style and aesthetic. And I feel that there's this message that don't let anybody tell you that you're being childish, group 4. You can like whatever you want to like. You're not hurting anybody. You're just expressing yourself. But yeah, I feel that overall, group 4, a big spiritual gift of yours is your creativity and your energy as a whole. You just have a very bright light about you. And with the self-love card, yeah, you come across as someone who has a lot of self-respect, self-love, even if it's tough sometimes. And I feel that you have good priorities when it comes to your connections, group 4, and being perceived by others. Like, I feel that a lot of you guys could just have mixed emotions about getting close to people. Like, on one hand, I feel that a lot of you guys feel very energized by people. You love people. You love learning about them and exchanging ideas and building deep bonds. But this could feel like a double-edged sword at times because, yeah, I feel that a lot of you guys just may not have had the best experiences when it comes to your social circle or getting to know people. Like, I feel that a lot of times, group 4, you may have not felt accepted or welcomed. But yeah, don't give up and keep using your gifts unapologetically because it's working for you and it'll lead you to great places. Okay, group 4, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much. Bye.